Hey guys, it's me, Pokemon. I'm back. Today I want to bring you guys another episode where I talk about Marvel Strike Force, but today I want to start a new series called Improve MSF. So, before I start doing this, I want to preface, I'm not referring to the fact, I don't think Marvel Strike Force is in a bad place right now. I think it's actually in a pretty good place, but I think there's been a lot of issues that have been lying around for a long time. They were there before I quit the game, they're still here after I've come back to the game, and I just wanted to address them because I think some of them have sort of sunk to the bottom of people's minds, and I just want to sort of pull those back up and be like, hey, we still need to kind of fix those because, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is like choking on their own blood right now, and Disney Sources Arena is Disney Sources Arena, so it's free real estate right now for Marvel Strike Force, so I really just want it to be like the best game it can right now. So I want to go through mode by mode in each video pretty much, and I'll talk about what I want to see change. Today I'm going to be talking about Arena, so I'm actually probably going to post a link to this video on Reddit because I actually think this is such a good idea. Reddit kind of scares me, I'm going to be honest with you, but I think this idea I have today is actually going to fix the biggest problem in Arena right now. So before we talk about the biggest problem, which is the slingshotting once you get to the top places, let's talk about the rewards first. The rewards for Arena I think are actually pretty good. You're getting, it's fine. You're getting roughly, if you're like me and you're a mid-tier player, you're getting at least one purchase in the shop a day because you get this, and then you get an additional 250 from your daily objectives. So I think it's fine in terms of rewards. I actually think it's fairly generous because it only gets better if you get up higher than that. And if we go to the store, I think who you can buy is pretty good too. I think this is all really reasonable. The only thing I would change is this Kingpin's Vault. So I'm a big fan of this Kingpin's Vault in terms of theming. I like the fact that it's Kingpin, and it's like, it makes sense that he's rich and you have this big vault, but I just don't think it's really, worth it. And the problem with that is, I'd say the biggest problem is that Kingpin is actually in the orb. What can drop from the orb otherwise is actually not too bad in my opinion. These are nice, some little XP chips and that kind of stuff. I really wish I could open up these orbs right now, but the big problem with them is they cost more than buying these supplies, and I need these characters more. And then when you're opening up this orb, I have a chance of getting Kingpin shards, and while I don't have Kingpin at 7 stars, Kingpin shards are essentially useless for me. So that's the biggest problem right there. I have a decent chance of spending more for getting almost nothing I need. And I think you have to keep in mind who's opening up the Kingpin's Vault. People who open up the Kingpin's Vault are probably people who have all these people maxed out, or they just don't care about anyone else here. So they're probably relatively late game players. So they especially don't need Kingpin shards. So I don't know, I'd maybe take a look at that. I like the theming for Kingpin's Vault, but do we need to drop Kingpin shards in there? I don't know if we really need to do that, so that's just a little thing I'd like to see change with the Arena orb. But let's take a look at how this reward structure works. So if you look, a bunch of placements, I'd say if you're above, like 100, what's it really matter for you? But what I want to address is where you start getting to like the top, 20 or so slots where there's really, there's not that many places separating you and an increase in rewards. And the big problem with Arena right now is I don't even fully understand this problem because I've never been in the top of Arena, but from what I understand, it's this little thing called slingshotting. So the way Arena works is when you fight somebody and you defeat them, you take their spot in Arena. So now imagine, that system works fine when you're up in my place where who cares, there's like 1,000 people there. Well, you get up here and it's 20 people and it's 5 minutes before the rewards go out and they're all sitting there waiting to fight each other. It becomes a bit of a mess of a system because everyone fights each other at once, everyone's taking everyone's spot. It's a huge mess at the end of the day with everyone flying around to different spots, and you can just end up in a random spot at the end of the day and you can really get just kind of screwed over with the placement. And as you can see, say from rank 1 to 5, you lose 150 power cores and like 200 arena credits, so it's a somewhat significant drop in rewards, and it's not really that enjoyable, I think, but I think it's kind of a stressful thing at the end of the day. And from what I understand, they don't play a ton of arena throughout the day. It's more they really just hop on at those last hour or so before reset, and they make sure they're in a good position and they fight as close as they can to reset in order to take this position. And of course, I suppose this problem exists in spots above 20, but I mean, there's a pretty decent gap, 30 spots, 50 spots here, 150 spots. So I'd say it's less so of a problem here. But what I'll talk about for the top 20 slots could be expanded down to the 50 slots and stuff like that. But we're just going to focus on the top 20 slots in this video because I think that's where it's most prevalent. So essentially, what I want to do is I think Arena should change to be a King of the Hill type mode once you get to the top 20. So where'd I get this idea? Shadowlands for Marvel Future Fight. I love Shadowlands. It's a masterpiece it's a fine craftsmanship right there. But the way it works is when you get to the top of the Shadowlands and Marvel Future Fight, you like get to take the place, and whoever holds it for the longest in the day gets more points, and blah 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 blah. So the big problem with Arena right now is the way the system is designed doesn't hold up when it's a very fluid placement group such as 1 through 20. So the way I'd like it to work is once you reach the top 20 spot, you'll start earning points throughout the day. The way it'll work is you get a set amount of points each minute you're in a rank in this game mode. So for every minute you're in rank 1, you'd earn like 20 points. For every minute you're at rank 20, you would earn 1 point. So and then every moment you're at rank 2, you'd earn 19 points. So the way it would work is if once you break into this top 20 here, you'll start earning points, and then the way the top 20 is decided is by your point total at the end of the day. So whoever has the most points at the end of the day gets rank 1, whoever has the most points the second most amount of points at the end of the day gets rank 2, and then it goes down through there. Now, a problem you could run into is you have somebody from the 21 to 50 sort of break into the 11 to 20 or something like that for a little bit during the day. And the problem would be is then they'd earn a couple of points to that, but they wouldn't earn enough to rank in the top 20. So what do you do with them? I'd say anyone who falls into the excess of 11 to 20, you just sort of take their point rankings and then you just sort of put them down 21 down below, just by the amount of points they earned. So sort of it'd be you sort of reach this upper tier of Arena once you are managed to break into this top 20, because then you start earning points towards the King of the Hill, and the King of the Hill people would get priority over everyone else in Arena and their placings. So this would fix a lot of problems, I think, because it would take away this rush at the end of the day of really being like, I gotta get in right now, and that's it. Like, you have 5 minutes to make it or break it. This would now be a 24-hour. You're just sort of trying to maintain this spot for as long as you possibly can. I think if you're in the top 20 in Arena, you might be like, I don't really want to do this all day. I don't know. If you're in the top 20 of Arena, just kind of playing the game. I'm playing the game a little bit, so I don't think that's really a valid reason to complain. And I feel it's a little more balanced as opposed to just randomly, just 20 random people fight each other at the end of the day and you see who comes out on top. I don't think that's fun. I don't think that's engaging. I think this King of the Hill mode would sort of help out a lot with that placement. Another thing, this would make Fox Next probably a lot more money, because like I said, these top 20 or so people, what they do is they really just focus on this last 5 or 10 minutes of the day. So if it was a King of the Hill mode, you would have to be checking in routinely throughout the day, maybe spending to get a couple more Arena uses and that kind of stuff. So that way you could make sure you are still maintaining the spot you would like to throughout the day. So it'd make it a little more competitive throughout the day, as opposed to just being absurdly competitive in the last 5 minutes. So from a Fox Next perspective, they would be probably making more money. So really interesting system right here, I think we could do. So again, the way this would work is King of the Hill people get priority over all of Arena. So if you did manage to reach the top 20 and earn points in there, even if you're not in the top 20 of points at the end of the day, they would still rank everyone by point totals. And then that would go down, say 50 people reach top 20. It would go down 50 people, and then you would start doing people's normal Arena rank placement below that. If they really wanted to, they could just start doing this King of the Hill thing for all of Arena. But I think the point total would get kind of absurd, because we were going to follow that point method, where this would be, this would have to be like 10,000 points for first place, and it would have to be like, 1 point per 10,000th place. I think that would get a little crazy to manage right there, but that would also fix that confusing aspect of trying to score King of the Hill people and then also trying to score just normal Arena people. So they could also do it completely King of the Hill, but I think they'd be fine to keep it King of the Hill for the top and then normal scoring for everyone else, because I think these people who are competing up here don't move that many spaces regardless of anything. So I don't think it would affect everyone. I don't think this is going to affect the 500 plus people, all that crazy scoring up top, because really it's the same 200, 300 people fighting every day. So So it's really only going to affect the arena placement and make arena placement weird for those people in the top 100 or so. But again, if you're at the top 100 or so, I'd argue you're such a hardcore player, you'd probably be able to handle that more engaging sort of gameplay and ranking and that sort of thing. But let me know what you think about this idea down below, because I am only an 18-year-old. With that being said, I hope everyone's going to have a happy and healthy day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sign off, everyone.